Solution to Naga political issue seems a distant dream as no concrete solution comes out in the meeting between Union Home Minister Amit Shah and the core committee on Naga political issue on Monday. Report says that Amit Shah puts back the ball to Naga leaders court, saying there is no provision of separate flag and constitution. With General Assembly election round the corner, Nagaland Pradesh Congress says party open to form alliance with like-minded parties, and PCC Chief K. Terry further says ENPO's demand for separate frontier state will divide Nagaland only. Naga Student Federation not to allow to Viva round to be held for recruitment for more than 500 posts under Nagaland State Staff Selection Board. NSF writes letter to State Chief Secretary to scrap the present interview system or minimize the mark allotted for Viva voice for a fair and transparent selection process. Dimapur Municipal Council Employers Welfare Union workers staged protests against non-payment of salaries at DMC office premises. Union gives Municipal Council 10 days deadline to address its complaint, failing upon which Union to stage a no-work protest. Hello and welcome to Nltv. This is your anchor Ravinya Lama and you're watching Nltv News Now. Now news in details. Solution to Naga political issue has once again been in zings as no concrete solution have come out after a meeting between Union Home Minister Amit Shah and the core committee on Naga political issue in New Delhi on Monday. It has been learned that Union Home Minister has put the ball back in the court of the state leaders and NSC and IM. Reports have surfaced that during Monday meeting, Shah has advised that 11-member delegation to impress upon the NSC and IM on signing the final agreement. It is to be noted that core committee led by Chief Minister Nltv is stationed in national capital over the last couple of days over the plea for securing early solution to the vexed political issue. Now it seems that the core committee will hold talks with NSC and IM, and wherein it will ask the outfit to accept centre's suggestion for resolving the deadlock. The committee on Monday also handed over the 4-point resolution to Amit Shah nearly 2 months after it was passed on July 16. Besides reminding BJP's election for solutions slogan in the 2018 state election and urge him to work for a conclusion to the Naga issues ahead of the next edition of the polls due early next year. So we have a phone conversation with our senior producer, Mr. Dipendu Chakrabarti. So he will be giving us much information regarding the Naga political issue. Hello.
Yes, Rovinio. It's just 2 days ago. The viewers already know that we informed our viewers that it has been come to light that finally the center has agreed to accept the demand that has been placed by NSC and IM regarding separate flag and constitution. However, we also say that reports came from Delhi that the government has agreed to allow for a separate cultural and civil flag for the Nagas, which will be allowed to host during the festivities and cultural programs. And so it somehow gave a hint that almost the impasse is over. The roadblock is now coming to an end over the Naga political issue, the vexed issue that has been, resolved for the last 25 years, if I count only the ceasefire agreement duration. But the issue is not started from 97, it is much beyond that. It's almost decade long, 7 decades long issue, you can say. And yesterday, the crucial meeting that took place between the core committee on Naga political issue and Union Home Minister Amit Shah, the reports that have come from New Delhi is that once again, the Naga political issue, the solution to the vexed Naga political issue, it's still hangs in, in the under cloud of uncertainty. There is no conclusion that has come as of now, as reports of that meeting that has come out, that took place yesterday, when the 11-member delegation of the Naga leaders that represent the core committee of Naga political solution, that includes prominent Naga leaders, including Chief Minister Nefurio, Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton, the UDF chairman T.R. Zeliang, the former Chief Minister of Nagaland, along with the co-chairman K. Azoniano, and several top political leaders include Neiba Kruno, Minister of Land and Revenue in Nagaland. So all the top political leaders from the Nagaland state legislature were present there in the meeting. And interestingly, the reports have come out that the Union Home Minister has now rolled back the ball again to the court of the Naga leaders. Especially, he has appealed to the core committee members that they should now give a message to NSCNIM to accept the suggestion of the center. And now, if you ask me about the suggestion and the stand of the center, is that they have already maintained, they have already said on numerous times that under India's constitution, there cannot be two separate flags, there cannot be any other constitution. So that means the government is in no mood to accept a separate flag and constitution, which has been the prime demand from NSC and IM, and that has been the point of debate or the subject of dispute for the last many years, when the stalemate started during the tenure of R.N. Ravi, who was the interlocutor in Nagaland government in 2018. From that point, the Naga peace process was hit by this issue of separate flag and constitution over in time. Both parties have said that this negotiations will start again, and finally the solution will come. With elections around the corner, the core committee yesterday met Home Minister. They tried to put pressure, they tried to convey the message, as BJP and the NDPP coalition came into power in 2018 with the famous slogan, election for solution. But now, this time, the clamor is that the BJP and the NDPP coalition, including the NPF now, which forms the UDA government in Nagaland, should resolve the issue before the election that is going to be held around February, March in the upcoming year. So the pressure is on the center, the pressure is on state government. However, the outcome of the meeting that has come, the reports are saying that the government of India is not in mood to entertain the separate flag and constitution demand, is once again put the whole issue under the cloud, and we don't know, now what will be the next step. But sources are telling us that now the core committee, once they come back to the state, they might meet the NSCNIM delegation. They will try to convey the message that has been given by Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and they will try to negotiate with the stakeholders. Already, the 7 NNPGs they are already agreeing to the stand of union government. However, it is the NSCNIM that need to be taken into confidence for an honorable, acceptable, and inclusive final solution. So that demand is now it is interesting to see when the delegation meets the NSCNIM stakeholders, the leaders, top political leaders. When and at what time, it is not sure. We are not sure when the next level of rounds will take place between the core committee and the NSCNIM delegation, but it is likely that they will meet the NSCNIM delegation very soon. So the whole situation is now again taking an interesting shape, and now it will be interesting to see what the next round of talks will take to the result it will bring. Actually, that is Rovi, as we know that for the last many years there has been hundreds rounds of talks. Delegations have done both in New Delhi, in Dimapur, and in Nagaland, and in outside the country also. But however, at present, no, the situation or the final report that has come from Delhi regarding the meeting that took place yesterday. The Home Minister's message or his stand on the separate flag and constitution has once again put the equations, you can say, back to zero. That's what we can say at this moment, Rovi.
Okay, so Mr. Chakrabarti, we know that election is coming on the month of 2022, on the month of February and March. So we know that NSCN, on the other hand, they want a separate flag and separate constitution when it comes to particularly Nagaland. So, and we also know that the new, the center and especially the Home Minister has put the ball back in the court of state leader and NSCN-IM. So, I want to know your opinion regarding like what will be the next, meeting on between the state leader and NSCN-IM, because we know we also clearly know that the stain of NSCN-IM, we clearly know what the demand is, but just wanted to know your opinion regarding the new meeting on the new resolution they are going to opt.
Well, see, it's not about now resolution now, because as resolution was basically taken by the core committee. They took the 4-point resolution in the meeting that took place on July 16. And interestingly, they met CM Rio met the central leadership that include the Union Home Minister last time also in New Delhi 1.5 months ago. And at the time, it was believed that they have submitted the 4-point resolution to the center. However, it turned out that they didn't file the resolution on until yesterday. It has been learned that yesterday, when they met Union Home Minister, at that moment they submitted the 16-point resolution taken by the core committee during the meeting on July 16. So that is the development. So it somehow has given an interesting indication, because the NPCC President K. Theri also, as you remember, has said that when last time the delegation led by Rio met Home Minister, they didn't talk about the solution, they didn't talk about the Naga political issue, but it was mainly to decide the seat sharing agreement between the NDPP and the BJP. And if that is to be believed, as we have learned that only yesterday the 4-point resolution was submitted by the core committee, that somehow indicates that the seat sharing deal, to finalize the seat sharing deal, was the main agenda last time when Rio and his team met Union Home Minister in the month of July or early August. During that time, yesterday they have submitted the resolution, but replying to the resolution, as I already said, that during the meeting the core committee already informed Union Home Minister that since election is nearing and they came to power in 2018 with the slogan "Election for Solution." So now the whole state is looking up to the center, the whole state is looking up to the Prime Minister, the Union Home Minister, and the state government, as they want an early solution, because this has been going for on and on. As I said, 100 rounds of talks, so much negotiations, deliberations, but at the end of the day, what is the result? People are getting no results. The issue is not resolved. So that is how people want a solution, an early solution, and somehow the clamor is on. On the one end, the ENP is also demanding a separate statehood right now. They are saying that they will not entertain any electoral procedures, or they will impose ban on any election campaigns unless and until there is a solution. So that is a pressure on the state government. So that's why yesterday during the meeting they have conveyed this message to Union Home Minister. But whatever reports are coming from New Delhi right now, that since Indian government believes that under the Indian constitution it is not possible to accept a separate flag and constitution, that's why they have now asked the core committee to be the negotiator. They should meet the NSCN leaders and convey the message from the government of India. And finally, Amit Shah has said that now it is up to them to come to a solution, and they can finally ink the final agreement. However, now it is to be seen when the core committee comes back from New Delhi and when they meet the NSCN leaders. We are still not sure about the time and date, as we will try to connect the spokesperson or the core committee convener Neba Krono to find out more details on this. I'm sure we will get, as soon as we get the information, we'll let the viewers know when the next round of talks between the core committee and NSNIM is going to held, and then what is the outcome of that meeting, and that meeting finally will decide what is the future of Naga political issue. But right now, situation is that the whole issue is once again is in deadlock.
To ask. So yesterday we know that NDPP President KTV has, alleged that the core committee, the 4-point resolution which was signed back in July 16, it was a display yesterday, that is Monday, given to Amit Shah, our Home Minister Amit Shah. So do you feel that the core committee has betrayed the Naga political issue? Because they have already said that the resolution has already submitted, but actually the fact is that the resolution was submitted yesterday only.
See, now that is how politics is all about. As you know, that NPCC is now ahead of the elections. They are trying to corner the state government, the NDPP government also, NDPP and BJP-led government also. So they yesterday in the press conference they stated that the core committee on Naga political issue has, they have betrayed the people. They have lied that they already submitted the resolution. However, it was not true. Yesterday they only submitted the resolution. Yes, and that is true as per our information also. That only yesterday the core committee submitted the 4-point resolution. In the resolution, they said they appealed the center and the NSNIM to come to a solution. That was their demand also. So they are trying to facilitate the peace process, as often they claim also that they are the negotiator. They are just trying to minimize the gap between the center and the state and the NSNIM also. So this is their stand is. But however, yes, if the reports are believed to be true, the stand is interesting. I wouldn't say it's exactly because I cannot use the term it is a betrayal or not. But yes, the allegations has been made by NPCC during the press conference. Also, K30 said that it is a betrayal from a core committee. Why they kept the resolution with themselves for the last 2 months? Yes, that is a question that we also need to know. In fact, the core committee should answer that why they didn't submit the resolution which was taken back in July 16, almost nearly 2 months. But still, it was not submitted. Only yesterday they submitted. So what was the point? What was the reason? Why did they to file the resolution earlier? They submitted the resolution earlier. That definitely is a question that need to be asked, and I'm sure once they are back in Nagaland, we will also ask the same question. In fact, we would say if they are listening to us, the core committee members or the spokesperson Neva Kruno also, we would also like to appeal him to clarify on this issue, as already the allegations have been made by NPCC that they have betrayed the Naga Nagas, and again further he earlier also has made several allegations that the main agenda of NDPP BJP government is that they don't want an early solution. They want to keep it alive, and already he has said that they want to come back to the power, and the election for solution is just a slogan. It is not. They are not keen on bringing an early solution. So now it's the core committee when it comes back. What is the reply from their side against the election allegations that has been made by K30? That is to be seen. But yes, it's true that it is a questionable thing that they didn't file the resolution that was signed on July 16, and they waited for nearly 2 months to submit it only yesterday, Rovi.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chakrabarti, for giving us much more needed information. Going back with our second news, with the state election round the corner, the Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee on Monday said that the Congress is open to form secular alliance with any like-minded party for the upcoming election. Although the party did not mention about any specific party whom they want ally with, but say that even NDPP is welcome to join them. Beside that, NPCC also lamented the core committee on Naga political issue by saying that the core committee did not submit the 4-point resolution taken by it during the parliamentary committee meeting held on 16 July 2022. Congress further said core committee betrayed all by lying that the resolution which actually was submitted on Monday only. Addressing a press conference in Dimapur, NPCC President K. Theri said, as the party believed in democratic principle and decentralization of powers, therefore, NPCC asks all the assembly and district committees of the party to choose their own candidate. During the press conference, Theri also urged erstwhile Congress workers to join the party to fight against anti-Christian, anti-Muslim and anti-women forces and come together to remove the roadblock to the Naga political solution. While on the issues of ENPO's demand for frontier Nagaland, Theri said the demand is painful as it will only divide Nagaland. He further questioned CM Rio's silence over the matter.
Are open to have secular alliance with all the political parties in the state that are like-minded, exercise fully the democratic principles of decentralization of powers. Therefore, we are authorizing all the assembly, constituency, congress committees and districts to select their own candidates that they have not submitted the 16 July 2022 resolution, which was taken by the Parliamentary Committee of Nagaland Legislative Assembly. They have not submitted. They said we have submitted. But in today's paper, I can see that they are officially going to submit today. This is a betrayal. They should be honest to the people. We are open to have secular alliance. And also, we have decided to decentralize powers to the grassroots levels, authorizing assembly constituencies and also the district congress committees to. They wanted to divide the Nagaland, and Chief Minister is keeping silent for the last 11 years. Why Chief Minister, who is running the state of Nagaland, is silent on the demand of frontier Nagaland state for the last 11 years? Nagaland state has been bought with blood, with sweat. We have all strived together mentally, health, wealth, and I think thousands of lives were paid to sustain Nagaland state. Our founding fathers have strived. I think it is painful for us to hear that they wanted to divide Nagaland and Chief Minister remaining silent. We may go in a way of J&K, lost state, become union territories, or otherwise autonomous councils, lost Article 371A. If that happens, Chief Minister will be responsible. We are open to have secular alliance with all the.
The Naga Student Federation on Tuesday stated that it will ensure the first stage of the examination process for filing more than 500 positions under the Nagaland State Staff Selection Board in full swing, but they will not permit the interview to take place until the demand is made. Speaking at a press conference in his office, NSF President Kekwa Hyun Tap expressed concern about a recent recruitment advertisement that stated 12.5% of the mark in any category would be given for a Viva voice, which Tap stressed that this would allow for process manipulation and expressed concern. NSF, who represent the voices and aspiration of the student community, opposes it, and he further mentioned that the Federation had objected by writing to the Chief Secretary of the Government of Nagaland that the decision should either abolish the NSSB interview system or reduce the marks given for Viva Voice. TAP explained that NSF and the other student communities campaigned to create and establish the NSSB in the state in order to guarantee meritocracy, justice, and transparency in the examination process.
Nagaland state government has excess number of appointment in government sector. However, there is no work efficiency, and for which we younger generation, we demand that there should be a right person for the right job. And we feel that NSSB is the right board to bring transparency in the system of governance. Why transparency in the system of governance is because we need right person for the right job. And we need work efficiency in any system of governance. Vacancies which is available be recruited under the board at this given point of time. So for that matter, we have filed an RTI positively in all the departments to see the available vacancies. However, to our dismay, though we have received more than from...
The state government has been given a 10-day deadline by the Civil Engineer Association of Nagaland and the Combined Technical Association of Nagaland to unconditionally revoke any jobs that were made without open advertisement. In a letter to the Commissioner and Secretary of Works and Housing, the association stated that they agreed in principle to call off its SIT in protest after the department on December 17, 2019 promised to address the matter within 3 months. But the association stated that after numerous reminders, the assurance has still not been carried out, and hence they want to take the required action if all of those appointments weren't terminated. Workers from the Dimapur Municipal Council under the DMC Employees Welfare Union protested about the non-payment of salaries on Monday at the DMC office premises. The workers later sent a memorandum to DMC Administrator Albert Izum while holding placards. The union gave DMC a 10-day deadline to address its complaint in the document, and if failed to do so, the union would be forced to stage a no-work protest until wage is paid. The DMCEW President T. Revo Anur explained that the demonstration was held because DMC employers have not received payment since July. He asserted that several of the workers and the dependent family members were starving since the government forbade DMC from collecting the urban utility fee. The financial situation has been badly impacted. The union claimed it had contacted the appropriate authority to allow collection of utility tax, but has not received any positive response. Induction program of 136 newly appointed community officer held at Kohima Capital Convention Hall. The community health officer will be appointed on different Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness sub-center across the state. During the program, the Mission Director of National Health Mission in Nagaland, Dr. Thorhusie Katiri, stated that CHOS are the caregivers of the community and their first aim is to provide quality healthcare to the people. The State Program Officer of NHM, Dr. Merenla Sanglam, reminded CHO responsibility towards people and mentioned that health officers should provide vertical programs under the mission. It is to be mentioned that the training will culminate on September 16 and will comprise sessions on maternal health, child health, non-communicable diseases, TB, palliative care, blindness control program, oral health, mental health, adolescent health, etc. Young student from Bumblebee Inclusive School under the age group of 4 to 12 in Kohima paid a learning visit to police headquarters and held an interactive session with the police officer on Monday. The main aim of the interactive session was to bridge the gap between the police and the public and to inspire students. The Additional Director General of Police, Ranchamo Kikon, during the session mentioned that this was the first time that student had visited the headquarters and further commended the school for giving kids, especially those with disabilities, an equal platform different unit under the Director General of Police, Nagaland, gave a special presentation to the student. Delegates of Nagaland Baptist Churches Council attended the Asia Pacific Baptist Federation Conference held at South Korean city of Seoul from September 5 to 7. A total of 12 delegates, including NBCC Secretary Reverend Andrew Samt, NBCC Vice President Dr. Niholi Sema, and ES-NP BCA Reverend Dr. Nukashe Zimomi attended the General Executive Council meeting of FAPBF. Dr. Niholi Sema was the flag bearer at the opening ceremony. The NBCC team was represented by delegates from Chaksan Baptist Churches Council, Al Baptist Arogo, Mungdang, Western Sumi Baptist Association, Council of Rengma Baptist Churches, SBAK, Nito Mount and Nagaland Police Baptist Churches Association. Advisor Labour and Employment Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Nltv today inaugurated the first pilot school of excellence in skill development at Government High Secondary School, Sechu Zubza. Nltv stated that there are 90,000 unemployed youth registered in employment department. Therefore, stress is given to vocational and skill development. He urged the village council, school authorities, staff to work hard for the pilot project successful. School Education Director Wong Tungo Sufoy and Secretary L&E SDNE Department Rajesh Sundararajan urged the school authority and the school council to make the best use of the facilities and make it the best in future. The pilot project has been taken up through a collaboration between Department of Skill Development, Department of School Education and NILIT, keeping in view the National Education Policy NEP 2020 and the key emphasis on promotion and participation of the student in vocational education. 20 computer sets were installed and the intervention will start with a student from class 8 and the course is begin designed by NILIT, keeping in mind the progression of the student, also the alignment with industry and the National Skill Qualification Framework. Following Sovima Village Council's lead, Darogapator Village Council has expressed its concern over the placement of posters and banners at a senior citizen private residence on Thursday by the Central Nagaland Student Association without the village council consent. According to a press release, the DVC chairman K. Ado Bizo and secretary Tu Jamir stated that Darogapator village was formed and recognized as a village since 1811 and is controlled by a legitimate authority of the village council in accordance with the Nagaland Village and Area Council Act 1978, where the act gives council the authority to supervise social, legal and administrative activities that fall under Darogapator village purview. DVC further advised the organization, society or groups to consult with the village council before engaging in any activities moving forward, and also that the Darogapator Youth Organization has been entrusted by DVC to supervise and administer such activities in the future that fall under the purview of the village. The Kamyagang Student Union on Monday appealed to respective bodies of Noklak Town Sector Union and Tang Kushong and Tanga Student Union to keep monitoring the movement of students from 6:30 p.m. till 4 a.m. without genuine reason in area those come under jurisdiction of the bodies. Notably, KSU issued an order on August 9 in which it directed to monitor the public movement, especially of the student community in Noklak Town within the set time zone. KSU claimed that the step taken last month has turned out to be effective as the move has garnered positive comment from parents and various organizations. Further, KSU also asks the student bodies to mobilize and take action on the defaulter. This is all for today. For more updates, keep watching Nltv.
अरे तूने अभी तक कुछ किया ही नहीं।
अरे ये तो लो क्वालिटी टंकी है।
होशियारी मत दिखाओ, दुकानदार ने